Hey everybody, welcome to Wreath by Libby. I'm Libby. Today we're going to be working on a wreath, a mesh wreath. I have this sign here that we're going to base it around. Welcome to our home. This is a 12-inch sign, and we're going to put this on a 14-inch wire frame from Dollar Tree. I've got some red and black mesh, some red and black pipe cleaner, and I have some red and black ribbon. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera down and let's get started. Okay, first of all we're going to attach our pipe cleaners, and we're going to go in at the brackets right here. And we're going to wrap around the outermost ring and then the next to the outer ring around the bracket. And we're just going to twist it. No, y'all, I done that wrong. Supposed to start on the inside. Sorry. Okay. On the inside. The inside too, wrapped around the bracket. You'll have to excuse me, I just woke up from a nap. I was in the garden this morning, so I got a little hot. And we're just putting these on the brackets on the inside two rings. Okay. Yeah, I should have enough. Okay, now on the outside two rings, I'm going to come over about 2 inches from the bracket. On the outside two rings. That's about 3 fingers away from the bracket. And I'm going to do that on the opposite side too, so I'm going to put another one right there. Do that all the way around. And you want to put these fairly tight on there, not tight enough where it bends the form, because it can bend the form, but just tight enough where they're not going to slide. If they do slide, it's no problem. Once you get the mesh on there, it's not going to be a big deal. If it is, just hit it with your glue gun. It's not the end of the world, folks. Y'all might hear some thunder in the background. It's getting ready to storm. It seems to be a recurring thing here when I go to record videos. It wants to storm. All right. Set these to the side. Alright, now let's cut our mesh. And I've got red and black. So I'm going to use the black as the base. And then I'm going to go on top with the red. Okay. Alright, let me get my cutter here. And this is a 10-inch by 10-yard mesh. And I got this from Carolina Pottery. And I'm going to cut it at 20 inches. Or about 20 inches. It don't have to be perfect. And you're going to cut 18 of these, because you have 18 ties on your form, so you want 18 pieces of mesh. And one roll of mesh cut at 20 inches should give you 18. Y'all got plans for the 4th of July? Anything y'all do? Like a tradition or anything? 4th of July is my favorite holiday. And honestly, we don't have no tradition except for going to see fireworks. And our little small town doesn't do fireworks, but the small town next to us does. So, we go there and watch them. And I really don't care if we do anything else. As long as I get to see the fireworks, I'm a happy girl. But we'll probably, you know, have cheeseburgers and watermelon and all the stuff that, you know, goes with the 4th of July. Okay. So we have that cut. So let's get that on there. And what we're going to do, get this out of y'all's view. What we're going to do, we're going to take the mesh and we're going to roll it under twice on the end and then scrunch it up. And scrunch it up and leave it where it can roll about twice on the other end. Scrunch through it, and it's going to give us our little poof. And we're going to bring it over and put it right on the wreath. Okay? I do it curl side down, so it's, but you roll it however you want to, however's easiest for you. It's just easier for me if I do it like this. Roll it under twice on one end and twice on the other end. And then you just pinch it and put it on here. Just roll, roll, pinch up the middle, roll, roll, twice on the other end, and just pinch it. Okay, I'm going to get this done, and then I'll be back to show you the next step. Okay guys, I got that all done, and I've decided I'm going to go on the back and I'm going to take these pipe cleaners here, and I'm going to attach them to each other, and I'm going to run it across the back, and I'm going to add some mesh to that also, because this sign is kind of heavy and I don't want it slipping through here. So I'm just going to come up here to a bracket, and I'm going to wrap it around the bracket and then back on itself. That way it won't slide if it's attached to a bracket. I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to come in underneath, then wrap it back around and underneath again on the other side of the bracket, and then wrap it around itself. And then I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces, and put it on there. And that's how I'm going to attach the mesh. And this will just keep that sign from going in there. It's going to hold it up, help support it. Okay, I've got one piece of black, and I'm going to use the red also. And I'm just going to scrunch it up. I mean, you're not going to see this. It's going to be underneath the sign. Get that pipe cleaner around there. I almost cut it too short. Okay. Now I'm going to cut some red. And this is just a piece of roll. I'm only going to go in every other tie with this. So let's start with a fresh edge. And I'm going to cut these, I don't know, about 15. About 15 inches. I only need 9 of these because I'm doing every other tie, plus 2 more for the inside. In the middle. And that worked out great. Okay, set that out of there. Let's go ahead and do the ones in the middle. Find it. And I'm just scrunching these up the same way. I'm finding my little tie I put in there. Gonna twist it in. Okay, on my other tie, make sure it's on there good. Okay, and we're just gonna scrunch it up the same way. This mesh here is fabric mesh, so it acts a little different from this mesh, but that's okay. I like fabric mesh though. It's softer on your hands. Okay, just finding that tie in there that I put and twisting it off. Okay, now the inside is full, so that sign's not going to go all the way through. Okay, now I'm going to take these and do the same thing. Roll on each end, squish up the middle. And I'm just going to go in every other tie. Y'all, I literally do not plan these wreaths ahead of time because I come in here and I was searching for ribbon. I was like, what am I going to put with this sign? And I had yellows and greens out, browns and tans, and then I went to gray and black, and I was like, no, it needs some color. So my thought is, if you use red and black now, in the middle of the summer, when it comes time for Halloween, all you have to do is take the sign off and change it out for a sign that matches, like a skull sign or a vampire sign or something like that, and voila, you have a Halloween wreath. And all you had to do was change the sign. You don't have to have spooky ribbon on there. But that's just my opinion. Some people can't afford to buy a wreath every month, so I take that into consideration sometimes. Especially when it's, you know, it might be a higher priced wreath. Give them options. I do think a vampire sign with this would be pretty. Okay, I'm almost done with the outside edge. I'm trying to get it where y'all can see. Okay, that's the outside. And really, you could stop right there. But I'm going to go in on the inside and put the rest of it. Every other time. Last one. Alright. This is what we have. Nice full wreath. Now let's get our sign over here. And do we want it in the middle? I think I'm going to do it off to the side. This sign came from Craft Outlet. Y'all know that if y'all watched my last video. Now, I don't like using wire, but a pipe cleaner will show too much. So I'm going to have to use wire. Let me see if I have some thicker wire, because that's just not very thick. I do have these 2 pieces of wire. Okay, I've got this wire here. And I'm just going to stick it through the hole. It comes with holes in it already. I'm just going to bend it down and around, and I'm going to take a pair of pliers, and I'm going to squish that together, and I'm going to twist it, because my hands aren't strong enough, but these pliers are. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing up here. Bring them together. Take these pliers, twist it. And there we go. All right. Now, we come over here to the sign. And find out where you want it. You're going to stick it through there. Y'all see how heavy that sign is? It just pulled right out my hand. Find out where you want your sign at. Stick it through. And you're going to twist it. I'm not putting it real tight yet until I get exactly where I want it to go. Okay? And you're just going to push through all that mesh. Y'all bear with me. Okay. Now you don't want it in there so tight you can't, that it all sinks down too much. You just want it tight enough to stay. And make sure mine's wrapped around it. Okay. Is it? No, it's not. Let's get it wrapped around. Make sure it's wrapped around something. Okay. All right. I'm just making sure it's secure. You don't want it to fall off. Making sure all your things are still poofed up around it. Okay. Make sure this is tight on the top. And do it as secure. I'm just wrapping it around the frame a couple times. Okay. Now, that's what we have. Now we're going to come and I'm going to put some bows over here. So let's get our bow maker. Had to have us swallow something to drink, y'all. Okay. So we have light red and black and white. So we're going to use black and white first. This is a 2.5 inch. This is going to be, I think I'm going to make 3 bows, or at least 2, to put on the other side of the sign. Let's cut that end off where it was folded. Start with some 8-inch tails. We'll twist in the middle. I'm going to pull that tail up. Okay, we're going to do 6-inch loops. I'm going to do 3 loops in total, 2 on one side, 1 on the other side, and then another 8-inch tail. Okay, just like so. Okay, then we'll come in with the red 1.5 inch. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Except I'm going to start my tail on this side. 8-inch tail, come to the middle, twist. And I'm going to do a 6-inch loop, twist, six-inch loop, twist, 6-inch loop. Don't twist. Cut your 8-inch tail. And bring that tail up. Okay, y'all with me so far? Okay, then I'm going to come in with the solid black. The same thing, except for this time I'm going to step my loops down to about 5 inches. Remembering to twist in the middle each time. Come back in with the red, starting on the opposite side. 8-inch tail, twist, 5-inch loops, and making them about the same size as this black one here. Alright. We'll come in with this black and white. And this time I'm just going to do one loop. Just one loop in the middle. And it's going to be about 2.5 inches. Maybe 3. No, it's about 4. I lied. Okay. So let me get some pot cleaner, some zip ties out. Okay, so we're going to take our zip tie and we're going to find where it splits open right there. And we're going to run this zip tie underneath all the ribbons, everything, and slide it over to them 2 little dowels, holding that bow down really good. And it's tight, y'all. I know that because it's tight on my finger. Okay, and then I'm going to spin that around. Make sure you're holding this really good. And I'm going to take and add this pot cleaner right inside of that zip tie. And I'm going to pull it tight. Not super tight, because you have to fix everything first. You got to make sure your tails and your loops are sitting where you want them. This is not the final fluff, this is the fluff before the fluff. Okay, see how that tail right there is twisted around? I got to fix that. Can't have that. Okay, so now you pull it super tight, and you take and cut that end of that zip tie off. Where's that super tight? Okay. So now, y'all, this one tail is not wanting to play nice. Alright, so now we're going to dovetail these. And all you do is you fold your ribbon over in half, come on the folded side, come down about 1 inch, and cut diagonally upward at an angle, like so. And it gives you a little point like that when you open it up. All this ribbon is canvas ribbon. It does hold its shape fairly well. That's bad. Alright, so now, fluffing, fluffing, fluffing. And y'all can spend hours fluffing this, or you can wait until the wreath is done and then fluff it after it's on the wreath. That's what I generally do. Okay, so let's get this one on there. And I'm going to come up here towards the top. I'm going to take my pot cleaners and run all the way down in there. You want to make it tight, but you don't want to sink it. Okay. Okay, so now let's make another one to go right here. We may only need 2 bows. Okay. 8-inch tail, twist, six-inch loops, twist, 6-inch loop, twist, make sure your ribbon's acting right. Okay, remember just 2 loops on one side, 1 loop on the other side with 2 tails. Yeah, I'm just eyeballing my tail with that one. You ain't got to measure it perfectly, because after you go back and dovetail them, then they ain't going to be exactly the same anyway. Okay, starting with the next ribbon. Remember, we start on the opposite side of what we just started. Okay? And we're doing the same size loops, 6 inches, twisting in the middle. So we have 2 loops over here, 2 tails, and a loop over here. Okay, we'll come in with the black. Starting on this side again. We twist, we change every time. Okay, twist in the middle. These we're going to step them down to about 5 inches. Twist in the middle. Okay. Bring that one tail up. Okay, back to the red. Okay. Starting on the opposite side. And we're doing these loops the same length as this solid black one. spread it out every time so you can see what we're working on. Okay, now coming back in with this black and white. And this is just going to be the one loop. Okay. I'm just going to do the zip tie again. Over. Now I'm struggling. Okay. All right. Grab it with the other hand, spin it around, make sure you're holding on tight. This is a lot of ribbon. It don't seem like it, but it really is. Get my pipe cleaner, going through there. This is some thick ribbon. Make it snug, and then go work your tails and your loops how you want them to be. Just spreading them out some before we put the super lock down on it. Okay. Super, super tight. Cut that off. Okay. And don't be scared to pull on these because they're not going nowhere, y'all. Not going anywhere. Alright, let's dovetail these. Just trying to see where these tails want to go. Now we're almost done with this wreath. Didn't take long at all, did it? And y'all, I am such a fan of red, black, and white together. It just looks so classic to me. Alright, I think I got them all. Bring the wreath back over here and get this on here. Yeah, I think 2 is going to be just fine. Oh yeah. Just make sure it's secure, wrapped around the wreath frame. Okay. come in and fluff everything. Okay, I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. Just so it's not fighting with the bow up here. And cut this one just a little bit shorter also. You just have to play with it. Okay. See about this one. This one here I'm going to cut because it's coming over the sign a little bit more than I want. I mean, it's still on there, but it's not covering the words now. Alright, y'all. That's what we have. Now, let's go around the edge and put some. I'm going to use the black and white and the red. And I'm using a 12-inch measuring stick here. And I'm only going to cut 6. And we'll start from that. Okay, and you want to dovetail these as well. I can do all these at once. Maybe. Maybe so. Oh yeah. Now those have been some good scissors to me. Had them for 6 years. They're the Westcott Platinum. No, Westcott Titanium non-stick. I don't know where I got them from, but they have been some really good scissors. Okay, y'all, how I'm going to do this, I'm not going to double these up. I'm going to take the black ones and put where there's red. And then I'm going to take the red one and put where it's black. There is not a rule saying that it has to be two ribbons. Y'all can't find my pot cleaner. Okay. There is no rule saying that it has to be two in each tie. That is not a thing. You do not have to spend $100 to make a wreath. And it's still going to come out just as pretty. Now, I might should have done this before I put the sign on. Because my pipe cleaners are hiding from me. Okay. You just find your middle of your ribbon. Pinch it. Put it in there. Okay, the red one, just finding the center, pinching it, putting it in there, bringing it out. Let's come back down here. Find my pipe cleaners. The problem is that the pipe cleaners are black, and all that black mesh, I can't see them. Okay, I'm not going to put one here because these tails hang down, but I am going to come right over here and put a few. Find that pipe cleaner. Okay, one over here. Find my pipe cleaner. Uh-oh, look there, I missed that. Let me dovetail that. There. And let's see. Here. And just this little bit. I think my camera keeps sliding down. Okay. And the only place I didn't put one was right here. And I do have it, so you don't have to put one here. But since this is all I got left that I cut, I'm just going to throw it in there so it don't get lost somewhere or go to waste. Okay, that is that, y'all. Get some of this stuff cleaned up here. Alright, that's what we have. Let me turn the camera up. Hold on. Okay, guys, that is it. Completely full, very simple wreath. Now this started off on a 14-inch frame, and it measures 24 inches wide by 24 inches tall, of course. It's very large, but isn't that just so pretty? Alright, guys, I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me, and thank you to excuse me, to all those who subscribe and like, share, comment. I love reading y'all's comments. So my next video, I'll probably post one over the weekend. It may be a short or something like that, or a small little video. Depends on how hot it is. So keep that in mind, y'all. I'm in the South. It's hot. But definitely we'll have one ready for y'all by Monday. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'm working on the price and bows, taking notes, making it happen. Alright, thanks guys.